I want to be the best. Today's fighters, they have been taught that that's not the way to do it nowadays. Nowadays, go for the bag.
Got lucky because the only fight for Tank outside of after Lamont Roach was Shakur Stevenson.
Facts.
Right? Now they've got another opponent that will do well at the gate because of the controversy.
Yep.
And it ain't Shakur Stevenson. I keep telling people Shakur Stevenson beats Tank.
That article, when we look at all the great fighters that's been, I wouldn't say disrespected, but they was going through that. Oh, he ain't fight this, he ain't do this. All of them go through that. That's part of the boxing game. Stay strong, youngin.
All right, guys, let's get straight into it. Jake Paul says he wants Gervonta Davis next, but this isn't just another influencer fight. This is the deep end. You're talking about one of the most violent, explosive, pound-for-pound killers in boxing today. Gervonta Tank Davis doesn't just hit, he destroys. And Jake? Yeah, he's improved, but let's be real. This isn't another ex-MMA fighter or washed-up athlete. This is a world champion built for destruction. Every real boxer out there, from Roy Jones Jr. to Carl Froch, already said it. Jake wouldn't survive 3 rounds.
And things, so why can't he do it? You know what I'm saying? He made more money than anybody. He was smarter than everybody. He didn't take too many stupid risks. That's what he did, and it worked for him. And people okay with that and accepting it. So why can't Tank do it? Tank can do the same thing the mentor did. That's what the mentor is for, to teach you how to do this thing the smart way and not get you hurt, not have to take no risks, not to take many chances. So if that's what you learn, why? If that's the easy way out, why not?
Roy Jones Jr. didn't even sugarcoat it. He said straight up, Tank is a violent human being. And that's coming from one of the most skilled boxers of all time. Roy looked at Jake's defense and laughed. Because Jake keeps his chin up, throws wide hooks, and leans back like he's in a sparring match. Against Gervonta? That's suicide. Tank doesn't wait. He closes the distance, breaks your guard, and lands a shot that sends you into next week. Jake might have power, but he's too slow, too predictable, and way too open for a sniper like Davis.
We get Shakur to have 2 belts. We have Tank to get a couple of belts. And you have a undisputed fight for those 2 in Las Vegas, in America, between 2 American guys getting undisputed championship of the world. That would be a mega fight. And we're talking about 2 guys that you have the most dominant, persistent, powerful guy, pound for pound powerful guy, I should say, in Tank, who also is very good defensively, but then you're fighting the best defensive fighter in the entire world, in my opinion. That is a fight I would love to see happen. I would be a big fan of, but I think if we could let that kind of fester and develop for a little bit, and we get that fight, summertime next year, fall of next year, where this is an undisputed fight, I think that's the fight we would love to see have happen. I would be all for that. And I think it's realistic. Like I said, I don't think Tank's losing to anybody except for possibly Shakur, and I don't think Shakur's losing to anybody.
Then you've got Shakur Stevenson, another young lion, who said it best, Jake Paul can't fight Gervonta. He's not ready for that kind of pressure. And Shakur's right. Because the minute the bell rings, Tank starts cutting the ring, forcing you into the corner, and boom, it's over. People don't realize that Gervonta's boxing IQ is elite. He doesn't just swing, he sets traps. Jake Paul's never seen angles like that in his life. Against Fury, he was already uncomfortable. Against Davis, he wouldn't even breathe right.
Champion?
No.
Why?
I think if they make him fight tough opponents, guys with experience, those guys will beat him. Now, if you catch somebody like myself at the end of their career, or somebody like Tyson, he caught at the end of their career, the chances are much higher. Because now it becomes over 50-50. You got a guy who's better than him, but the age factor. You understand me? And that's the only way to balance it for him to make it a 50-50 fight. Somebody who's on his level at the same age, those guys have too much experience. You understand me? So he's not going to beat those guys. But you find a guy who is past his prime, who has a mentality further than his, but past the prime, it kind of evens the stakes.
And then Carl Froch, the Cobra, stepped in, and he's never polite when it comes to Jake Paul. Froch said, if Jake fought Gervonta, it'd be a crime scene. Brutal, but true. Froch hates the circus boxing's become, and in his eyes, this matchup is pure fantasy. Gervonta is a professional killer, and Jake's an entertainer. You don't throw an entertainer in with a tank, literally. Frock said Jake might talk about levels, but when that bell rings, he'll understand there's no comparison between YouTube boxing and real championship warfare. 452 to 605. Eddie Hearn, the promoter genius, laughed when asked about it. He said, Jake can't even handle real 10-rounders.
So on and so forth. So, with that being said, why even want to entertain the fight with Tank Davis? I mean, how much credit are you going to really get, Shakur, besides the money, right? That's what Tank brings. He brings interest. He brings a lot of fans in the seats, you know. But as far as legacy goes, if people are holding Tank at a very low status, what, do you need him? Do you really need him? How you doing, man? Good morning. Do you really need him? Because I personally don't think that you need him. You know, Shakur, you should be here to create your own legacy. You know, you're about the competition. You are about that bread as well. And I think it's important for you to really look at the landscape, man, of boxing and see where your big money fights are, you know, besides Tank Davis. As you know, you hear through the grapevine, I think he even told you on X that, you know, he's contemplating retirement after his Jake Paul fight. You know, you're getting ready, hopefully, if Teofimo Lopez signs the contract, Shakur, to be fighting Teofimo Lopez, who has accomplished quite a bit in the sport, man, and has been in the ring with some legends, Josh Taylor, also Lomachenko. I think that type of fight makes sense. You know, going up to 140 pounds, getting another strap, you know, beating the quote unquote.
And that's facts. Jake's stamina still looks shaky after 6 rounds. His jab fades, his guard drops, and his feet slow down. Tank's cardio is built through war, through 12-round smoke sessions against killers. When Jake gets tired, he clowns around. When Tank gets tired, he goes for the knockout. That's the difference between influencer hype and real fighter hunger. 605 to 722. And let's not forget, Jake's last real test was Tommy Fury. He lost. Period. That fight exposed him. Every time he faced a real boxer, the timing, the movement, the defense, it all fell apart. Now imagine that same Jake against a knockout artist who doesn't miss. Gervonta's left hand lands like a sledgehammer. He'll feint low, jab high, and end it with one uppercut. Jake's never even felt that kind of violence. It's not YouTube boxing anymore, it's survival.
It does. Just from saying I'm going to fight AJ tonight, fighting Gervonta Davis, who's 100 pounds in weight lighter. 100 pounds. Weight divisions in boxing are split up, some of them, the lower weights, by 3 or 4 pounds. All I can say about Jake Paul fighting somebody half his size is he's a fucking bully. Why are you fighting a guy half his size? It's wrong. Yeah. He's gone from Krusty the Clown now to Sideshow Bob. He's getting worse. You know what I mean? Like, this is a guy that's just taking a piss out of the sport, and I don't think this is actually gained much interest. The press conference was dead. Yeah, I noticed there weren't many press there. It's not had big media coverage. Yeah. I think people are finally realising actually that this is a big charade, and I think I'm not impressed. Gervonta Davis, I think maybe he's had enough of the game. He got drawn in his last fight. He was lucky to get the draw as well. But yeah, the whole thing again, it's a clown show. And Jake Paul.
722 to 836. Now, some people say Jake's size gives him a chance, and yeah, he's bigger. But let me tell you something, Tank's been fighting guys bigger than him his whole career. Size doesn't mean a damn thing when the smaller man hits harder, moves faster, and sees punches before they're even thrown. Gervonta's built for chaos. He's been through real training camps, real world title fights. Jake's still learning what head movement is. You can't buy that kind of experience. You've got to earn it in blood. 836 to 945. Let's be honest here. If Jake ever steps in that ring with Gervonta, he's cashing out.
Why not fight Tank at 135?
Tank ain't gonna fight him, man. He not gonna fight him.
You gotta realize with Tank, he on that other side where he gonna,
Act
Take
like
all
he
the
on
cupcakes.
side.
Alex, say it.
Man, I'm quite sure. Tank to fight you here.
So you saying he don't want to put that record up?
Look,
and
Dan,
chance that record.
Shady,
my boy,
Shady, I know
what it
Tank.
is, man.
I know Tank, Shady.
I know Tank
Hey,
too.
let him talk. Go ahead.
Hey,
Go ahead, tell him.
I know Tank too, and I know for a fact at the end of the day, like, he is not jumping into no fight with me. Like, that's a whole different type of atmosphere. That's not like fighting or saying.
So basically, you telling me Tank scared?
I ain't gonna say the man scared. I'm just saying for a fact
So what
I
you
know
saying?
he not jumping in the ring with me.
This isn't about proving he's the best. It's about selling a storyline. But the ring doesn't care about storylines. When that bell rings, truth shows up. And the truth is, Tank Davis eats guys like Jake for breakfast. That's not hate, that's reality. Boxing is a brutal game. It doesn't care about followers or pay-per-view hype. Only skill, power, and heart matter, and Tank's got all three. 9:45 to 10:58. And don't think Gervonta would take it easy either.
What would the next step be for Tank?
I heard they were going to fight Jake Paul. When I see Jake Paul at the event and I see Jake Paul posting from the private jet with a picture of Gervonta Davis,
slapped it.
yeah, but they had that for a reason. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't
you
know.
had to buy it, you had to get it made.
Yeah, but I can't believe that fight was going to happen. But anyway, crazy stuff's happening. Yeah, you got to rematch Lamont Roach. You got to. It'll probably get ordered. That's the reality by the New York State Athletic Commission. But listen, they may have got lucky because the only fight for Tank outside of after Lamont Roach was Shakur Stevenson.
Facts.
Right? Now they've got another opponent that will do well at the gate because of the controversy.
Yep.
And it ain't Shakur Stevenson. I keep telling people Shakur Stevenson beats Tank.
You cannot say
that Shakur Stevenson would not have beat.
He's been called small, underestimated, and disrespected, but every time, he proves people wrong with knockouts that break jaws and egos. So if Jake Paul really wants that smoke, he better understand, this ain't Fury, this ain't Diaz, this is Tank Davis. Once he touches you, it's lights out. You'll wake up wondering what hit you. Jake's confidence might sell fights, but confidence doesn't block punches. So yeah, alright guys, if this fight ever happens, we all know the outcome. Jake Paul's toughness ends where Gervonta's left hand begins. The hype ends, the talk ends, and what's left is reality, cold, hard, violent reality. And that's what separates fighters from entertainers. Until Jake proves he can handle real boxers, he better stay in his lane. Because when Tank walks in, it's not a show, it's execution. And if Jake dares step up, well, it's gonna be short, brutal, and unforgettable.